What I have here is the KiwiEars Septet, their latest, not exactly latest, but kind of latest mid-range IEM. It's a follow-up to the Quintet. That one had 6 drivers. This one has 7 drivers. Let's open it up and we will have a look at the specification and everything else. This one is priced at $270 if I'm not wrong, and thankfully we are getting a modular cable with this one. So we have one dynamic driver, 4 BA drivers, one microplanar and one piezo driver, so 7 in total. I'm not exactly sure if these BA drivers are compound drivers or standalone drivers, but they are saying 4, doesn't matter a lot. But the kind of drivers this one is offering is pretty impressive, and we are getting a slightly semi-open kind of design too. Not fully open. Definitely IEMs cannot be fully open, but it kind of has some venting kind of structure. We will look into the earpieces later. Let's have a look at the set of accessories. Now this is slightly disappointing in my opinion, because doesn't matter how expensive the IEMs are, they are shipping it with a basic kind of case. There is no distinction about this carry pouches or cases, to be precise. So that is slightly disappointing. Thankfully this time around we are getting a slightly better looking, you guys can see, slightly better looking cable than the Quintet, and this is modular too, so that's a very good thing. This cable is lightweight, doesn't have much memory or anything, like 4 core, not bouncy either, so that's a good thing. I'm liking this cable. Let's have a look at the ear tips here. Generic kind of ear tips, wide bore and narrow bore, nothing special there at all, and we are getting a 4.4 mm termination plug there. Let's have a look at the earpieces. I will include the initial impression within this video, and we will see how this one sounds out of the box. This is fairly small for a 7 driver IEM, to be precise. Let me increase the brightness up a bit. So this is a reasonably deep, not very deep, but for the size this has a lot of drivers. I was expecting it to be a bit more chunkier, slightly more thicker, but this one looks fairly small in my opinion. Looks nice, nothing fancy. There are no fancy design or anything like that, but this open back design definitely looks very good in my opinion. I will do initial impression within this video, so stick around. This is the initial impression of KiwiEars Septet. Now this is a very interesting kind of IEM in my opinion, because either you will love it or you will hate it. I'll talk about that a bit more in details. Now the first thing first, if you like the Quintet, it's a predecessor, you will love the Septet. Okay, there are no two ways about it. This U-shaped sounding IEM is just fantastic when it comes to layering, separation, and imaging is very good too. It has a lot of details. It is kind of a reference with a slightly balanced kind of touch, because it does not offer that kind of flattish bass, but the bass is not boomy or very big or anything like that. It is precise, it is clean, and very well detailed, very well layered. So this kind of IEM is not exactly for everyone, to be precise. Let me be very clear, let me repeat it. This kind of IEM is not for everyone. If you are not looking for a lot of details or a precise and accurate sounding IEM, you might find this to be slightly boring, to be precise. It is not colored. It is very neutral and very precise, to be precise. If we start talking about the set of accessories, finally we are getting a slightly better cable and a modular cable, but the jack, you guys can see, is a bit on the larger side. It is not bad at all. It is not heavy or anything like that, but it's a bit on the larger side. You guys can see this thing is a bit too big, to be precise, but it gets the work done. If we look at the build quality and that kind of stuff, this is not bad either. We are getting a reasonable case. I forgot about the case. A reasonable case, nothing fancy, very similar to what we get with their $60-70 IEM too. So nothing special there. Build quality though is very good. This is metal. This is metal. The set of ear tips are below par, and for a 7 driver IEM, the size of this IEM is very small, to be precise. It's not big at all. Now that is a very interesting point. IEM that houses 1 DD, 4 BA, 1 planar and 1 piezo ceramic driver. This IEM is fairly small. Okay, it's not thick, it's not voluminous or anything like that. We are getting two tiny breathing holes, but this kind of semi-open like design is very interesting in my opinion too. If we move on to the detailed sound analysis, that's where the things get fairly serious, to be precise. We are getting very good sub bass extension, no doubts about that. The sub bass extension is fantastic on this one. It is not a bassy IEM, let me be very clear, but the level of dynamics and the level of contrast of harder, slightly drier notes and slightly slower, slightly boomier notes is very, very well defined. It can hit variety of notes effortlessly, and the technical abilities of this IEM is on a different level, on kind of flagship level, to be precise. It has the extra bit of clarity, it has the extra bit of definition, it has the control, and the mid bass is fairly voluminous too. No issues with that either. It moves a reasonable amount of air because of its a bit more controlled kind of presentation. It is a bit more tighter, a bit more compact, but offers good slam when needed, very good slam when needed, and the upper bass notes are very, very clean. Yes, some of you might find this to be slightly less voluminous because it is a more accurate and precise sounding IEM than being a fun or musical sounding IEM. So that is where the line is. It is not a fun or musical or a very engaging kind of IEM. It can get slightly boring, and the mid-range is in a U. Okay, it is highly resolving. It has a lot of details to offer. Male and female vocals are not very organic. They are a bit more on the leaner side, focusing a lot more on clarity and details. Keep that in mind. If you want clarity and details, you should consider this one. This is not a very fun sounding IEM. I'm repeating this because that's what this IEM is all about. It's all about details, layering and separation, and that kind of stuff is very good background and foreground separation. For the asking price, it is not very deep. The Z-axis depth is not very big, but it is big enough. And the imaging and layering of instruments is very well done with this IEM. There is no issues of upper mid sharpness or anything like that. It does not have any issues with tonality and timbre, but yes, it is very neutral. It is not going to sound warm or comforting or smooth or anything like that. So level of cohesion is kind of average. Level of details though is on a different level. It is a very detailed sounding IEM. If we start talking about the highest, that is where the U shape is a bit more prominent there. It kind of rises with the energy in the lower treble region and maintains that up till the upper treble region without any issues. It is crisp, clean, clear, agile. It has the kind of air between instruments, and I'm liking the way this is rendering the highs. Okay, it could have been slightly more warmer for some, but those who are seeking details will love this one. Detail seekers will enjoy this kind of accuracy and precision. But if you are someone who want something warmer, something smoother, something more engaging, then you might have to look for the Astral, I think. If I'm not wrong, KiwiEars has a hybrid IEM that is a bit more smoother than this one. So this is the initial impression of the KiwiEars Septet. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Enjoy.